death and Hesitance the time had just changed to 1 p.m. But for Hesitance and Comfort the appropriate time for drinking had just arrived. Hesitance found and loved these moments with Comfort, and considered her to be the greatest person she had ever met. Hesitance believed Comfort was her twin, which meant that Comfort was as amazing as she was. They rushed home after doing their overnight shifts at the gallery and went straight to the barn in Hesitance's backyard. For them, the barn was this sacred place where nobody ever bothered them, and the only one judging them as they took shots of whiskey were the pigs. After downing the bottle, Hesitance and Comfort shared stories about how their dreams would one day come true and everyone they knew would be bowing down at their feet. Comfort stands up a stack of hay and wobbles back and forth shouting, "Oh, you wait. The day after I graduate and become the richest gallery owner in the world, I'm not answering my phone ever again. I will just send a check for mom and dad's rent, and never again will I hear another negative comment out of those two." Comfort then falls off the haystack onto the floor, still waving her finger in the air. Hesitance then bursts into laughter while the pigs start Ion King in agreement. After Hesitance begins to catch her breath, she wipes the tears of laughter from her eyes and exclaims, "And when I become the greatest painter who ever lived, my father will never again call me a disappointment, and then he will beg me for forgiveness for his ignorance." Hesitance then takes a stick off the ground and pretends to knight Comfort. Comfort bows then says in agreement "Yes, my lady, they will make statues in your name." Hesitance then replies, "Yes, of course. And we create songs about your beauty and grace." They both fall to the ground in laughter and toast with empty shot glasses. 2 days later Hesitance knocks on Comfort's door, but instead of Comfort's mother answers looking like she had not slept in months. Hesitance asks, "Is Comfort here?" Comfort's mother tries to speak, but the tears overwhelm her so much that her mouth just opens and shuts. Comfort's father then pushes the door open further, stating as clearly he could through his own tears, that Comfort had passed away last night in her sleep. Hesitance feels a punch to her chest and begins to feel like she cannot breathe. Hesitance gets a block from her house before she decides that she cannot drive any further. Her facial expression still has not changed and a stream of tears flows down her face. She just sits there for hours, staring at the wooden fence around someone's yard with a never-changing expression. She gets out the car with the keys still in the ignition and begins to walk home. She walks inside and her father immediately notices her ghost-like expression and begins shouting, "What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong?" Hesitance calmly replies, "Comfort is dead." Her father hugs and says, "I am so sorry, Hesitance." After she wakes up, Hesitance throws her old painting off her board and places a new canvas on it, then begins to paint. The first painting that she paints is a picture of Comfort, the second is a moon changing into a star, and the third painting is a heart made out of steel. Hesitance gives the first painting to Comfort's family, the second painting to a homeless man that she encountered as she was walking home, and the third painting to the local shopkeeper who used to give her and Comfort free ice cream cones. Comfort died on Monday. All three received a painting on Tuesday. On Wednesday, Comfort's mother downs a bottle of whiskey, and as she puts the pill bottle up to her mouth, she sees the picture of Comfort staring back at her. She begins to feel like Comfort can see her, and she decides not to swallow all her pills and instead cries herself to sleep. On Thursday, the homeless man is approached by a stranger he has never seen before and sells the painting to the man for $2,000. The homeless man buys himself some food and clothes, then buys an old shed to live in. And on Friday he gets a job offer to become a janitor and never returns to the streets again. And on Saturday, the local shopkeeper is confronted by a crazy person with a knife. The man runs up to the shopkeeper, and right before he reaches him, the shopkeeper grabs the painting and the man cuts through the painting instead of him. The man then runs away and the shopkeeper falls to the ground crying and thanking God that he gets one more day on this earth. Each person comes by to thank Hesitance for giving them the paintings and tells her how her paintings saved their lives. The stories of the paintings fill the town, and the gallery owner calls Hesitance, asking to purchase as many as she can make. Hesitance focusing on painting for the next several months, with her paintings becoming more expensive as time goes by. Eventually, Hesitance buys the gallery and names it after Comfort. Hesitance sits down one night in the gallery, for the first since Comfort's death, begins processing all the events that have happened. As much as she misses her friends, she can help but whisper to herself, she really did become rich and famous like she knew she would be. Hesitance laughs and cries at the same time. Hesitance may not like the thought of death, but she wondered if her death would ever be as great as Comfort's. And she wondered maybe if she should be more worried about her influence than dying herself. We all will die, but only some will have a death as warming as Comfort's.